All right, this is our introductory lecture into Java data types. Let's talk about data types for a few minutes. So there are two main data types in Java. There are primitive types and reference types. The primitive types are types that store values directly in memory, as opposed to reference data types, which are typically known as object types. And these reference types store a memory address as opposed to the actual object in memory. What this means is that a reference type is basically storing a pointer to an object in memory, not the actual object itself. And primitive data types only hold values and they do not have methods. Reference types, on the other hand, have both attributes and methods, so methods and fields. Back to primitive types. Examples of primitive data types include integers known as int, double, boolean, char, byte, short, long, and float. Your reference types, on the other hand, include more complex data types such as strings, arrays, classes, and this includes built-in Java classes as well as custom-made classes by you, interfaces, and wrapper classes. Now here, again, we list the different reference types and primitive types. I will not go over them, but you can pause this video and read these for yourself. And looking at the different Java data types, you will notice that out of the primitive types, there are 8 different primitive types. 6 out of those 8 are number types. And of those 6, 4 of them are integer types and 2 of them are floating point types. A floating point is just another word for decimal. Then we have char and boolean. Then, of course, we have the reference types, which we've already gone over. Now let's look more closely at the differences. So when we compare primitive data types, one thing you will notice is that their sizes vary in the amount of memory that they can hold, the amount of bytes that they can hold. Okay? So your Booleans don't really require much memory because they only store true or false values. And then your integer types, from your bytes all the way up to your longs, vary in size. So the byte requires the least amount of memory and it stores the smallest range of numbers. Whereas longs, and its name kind of fits what it does, long because it stores a longer range or bigger range of values. And this will become important later when we talk about casting of primitives. Okay? And then, of course, you have floats and doubles. So floats and doubles are both decimal types, and doubles can store a larger range of numbers, more decimal points, more digits. And again, like I already mentioned, you feel free to pause this video to take a careful look at this table. Thank you. On to the next, and peace.